Hey everybody, Sam from Uncle Thursday Game Reviews. I pretty much am Uncle Thursday Game Reviews. Really, I am. Anyway, we're here to talk about the new Content ID apocalypse that is affecting YouTubers all over the place. And what it means to you, and what it means to me, what it means to anyone that is considering becoming a YouTuber in the future, and how we can deal with this in a way that is going to be beneficial to everyone, and I don't really know if we can. Alright, so I guess the first thing we should talk about is what is Content ID. Content ID is a automated system, Good grammar, Sam, but anyway. It's an automated system that was put into place by Google after they bought YouTube, in which they have a bot that goes around with a database. And this database is filled with content from copyright holders that allows the bot to find and flag anything that is being uploaded to YouTube that does not belong to the uploader. This includes music, television shows, movies, all sorts of stuff. And the idea is basically to not let people monetize full movies or monetize TV shows that don't belong to them. It uses an algorithm, and it's completely automated. All right, the Content ID system has no human interaction in the beginning. The only time that there will be human interaction is if it goes to an appeal. So other than that, nobody touches it except for this bot, which cannot distinguish between things that are actual fair use or things that are actual copyright violation. And this is what has a lot of people upset when it comes to what the Content ID thing will discover. People that do covers of songs sometimes get their videos flagged. It's just them sitting in front of their webcam playing a guitar and they sing a song, but because they're singing a copyrighted song, they get flagged. Or there was a famous case a while back where Prince had claimed copyright on a woman's video. It was like a 30-second video of her little 2-year-old daughter dancing to one of Prince's songs. And she said, it should be fair use. Eventually she did win in court because she did go to court over it. But, this is what Content ID is. It's a way for Google, pretty much, to cover its own ass when it comes to what is being put on YouTube, to make sure that the people putting stuff up on YouTube are putting up stuff that they own the rights to. So why is this really becoming a big issue right now if it's been around for quite a while? This really has to do with what are known as multi-channel networks, MCNs for short, which include networks like Maker Studios, Machinima. There's a whole bunch. I don't even know all of them. But right now, it's blowing up because of some policy changes that have happened between Google and the networks. Basically, the networks previously were supposed to be the ones that dealt with any and all Content ID and or copyright claims instead of the actual uploader who is part of the network. And what this did was basically let these people put up their videos and get them approved for monetization right away. Boom, they're up, and they could start making money off of them. However, Google has decided that the MCNs are not doing a good enough job. And as a result, MCNs have now had to decide on how their partners are going to be considered. You have managed partners, in which case everything that the partners used to get still apply, including Content ID claims and copyright claims are still handled by the network. And you have affiliate partners now. And basically what happened was Google decided that the affiliate partners no longer got the same protection from the network that the managed partners get. So now content ID claims are going to be handled by the affiliates and not the network. Copyright claims are going to be handled by the affiliates and not the network. Monetization of videos is now going to have to deal with the exact same process that people that are not part of a network, like myself, have to go through before it gets approved for monetization. And these things have suddenly blown up all over YouTube. You're getting a lot of people, especially in the gaming circles, that used to get lots of protection from their network, and now the network basically doesn't do anything for them, and they're getting copyright claims, or at least content ID claims, on many of their videos. For instance, someone I'm a fan of, Angry Joe, has something like 62 content ID claims against him right now. And that's a lot. All right. But it's not as much as some other people. Some other people have gotten something like 200 plus. And when you hear about that, you're like, whoa. And part of the problem that a lot of these people have is while your video is under content ID, whatever they want to call it, while it's being claimed, then you cannot monetize that video. And for the people that have quit their jobs and are, making a lot of content and getting all their money from their content, this is a bad thing. It also does not help that when one is disputing content IDs, you're only allowed to dispute 3 at a time. So for Angry Joe, he's got 62, but that's going to take a little while. This whoever the DSP Gaming, I think it is, who has over 200. That could take a little while, although he said that a lot of them have been released lately. And basically, a lot of the people that were not used to having to deal with this are now dealing with it, and they're pissed. And they're pissed in ways that I don't think anybody even imagined could happen. Like I said, Angry Joe put up a video the other day, and it's just like him just fucking swearing and cursing and screaming. And I mean, he looks like he's almost going to cry at the end. He's just so mad. Like, he's just red. He's like, ugh. And, that's already got over 500,000 views when I watched it yesterday. So, who knows how many it has now. But it's brought something to the forefront, which is what is acceptable, what is going to be considered fair use, and really who is actually putting in some of these claims. As I said, some of these claims on Angry Joe, he has 62. Well, some of them are absolute bullshit. Complete bullshit. One of them that he pointed out was he had interviewed some of the people who made the new Tomb Raider this past year. And someone put a claim on the video and the person claiming to own it was just called Tomb Raider. Okay? It's not Square Enix. It's not IDOS. It's not whoever made the game. I can't remember, Crystal Dynamics or whoever made the game. It's someone calling themselves Tomb Raider, which is obviously bullshit because it has nothing to do with Square Enix whatsoever. And this is happening to other people too. Not necessarily in that exact same way, but they're getting what many are considering bullshit claims towards their videos. And it's pissing a lot of people off. It's pissing them off to degrees where it turns out that, oh God, what is his name? Well, the guy who runs Classic Game Room, he's left YouTube. He put up his last video and he said, I am done. I'm not dealing with this. I'm just going to put everything up on my own site and see how it goes from here. So there's a chance that because of how the content ID system is going, because of how aggressive it is right now, Google maybe made it too aggressive, that it is going to drive away the very people that are making Google money. And that could be a very bad thing in the future. Now, it's important to realize that not every channel that deals with gaming is dealing with these problems with the Content ID system. Okay? Anyone who is still considered a managed partner, one of the bigger examples would be John Bain, aka Total Biscuit. He's still managed by, I believe it's Polaris, which is formerly the Game Station, which is a Maker Studio project or network. And as a result, he doesn't have to deal with the copyright claims. He doesn't have to deal with the Content ID claims. The studio's still going to do that for him. However, it's all the affiliate partners that now have to deal with everything that you or I, as non-network people, would have to deal with. Pardon me. So what this means is being an affiliate is lose-lose for the affiliate, okay? They get no protection from the network. They have to deal with their own Content ID and copyright claims. They have to deal with the potential for monetization taking longer than they expect it to. And in gaming, this is very bad because if monetization takes a while, like one of my own videos that I own all the rights to is still under review to be monetized. Not that I expect it to make any money anyway, but whatever. You know, I might as well try, right? And as a result, you know, every click that it gets that could go towards the amount earned per 1,000 views, while it's waiting to be approved, it doesn't get, okay? And this is what pisses off the affiliates, is, you know, now they don't get their instant monetization. They don't get the protection of the network when it comes to Content ID claims. But they're still going to be paying whatever percentage they agreed to in their contract of their revenue, or, you know, of their ad revenue to the network. So the network gets a win-win situation. They don't have to do anything for them, but they still get to take their money. And it turns out Maker Studios came out today or late yesterday and said that they're not letting their affiliates get out of their contracts early. And many of them just recently signed new 2-year agreements. So this is really going to suck balls for those affiliates. It also doesn't help that Machinima and Maker Studios have, I remember last year there was a big thing about this, their contract wording is often very one-sided anyway. But they're still going to be making money off of the videos that are still making money by their affiliates, and their affiliates can't do anything to get out of their contract. Now, this brings up the question of how much these networks knew and how far in advance. Because apparently, over the summer, a lot of the networks started really pushing the affiliate program instead of the managed program. And a lot of people signed up for them. And they did all their stuff to give the ad revenue, and then, you know, they'll get their checks, whatever. But if the networks knew about this well in advance, then they were acting in very bad faith when it came to these contracts, which could lead to some very big legal trouble down the road. And I don't think a lot of these networks understood that, because the networks were basically made by people who made it big on YouTube. In a lot of cases. I know Maker Studios was formed by Lisa Nova, I believe, and her boyfriend or something. And it was, you know, she was basically a big hit on YouTube, and she decided to try to do something else to make a little more money. Fine, great, whatever. But if if she or whoever is running Maker Studios now isn't really thinking about it, if they were acting in bad faith when it came to these contracts, there is potential huge legal issues that come with this, including paying out of massive monetary damages to anyone that feels that they have been cheated by either going from a managed partner down to an affiliate or being brought on as an affiliate, and now they can't get out of their contract. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm sure that there are going to be a lot of people asking these questions. How much did the networks know? And when did they know it? Did they find out about it just last week when they sent out everything? Or did they know about it in the summer when they made this big affiliate program push? That's going to be the big question that has to be asked. So you want to put up videos on YouTube. Maybe they're gaming, maybe they're not, but whatever. But you want to figure out what you can put up on YouTube and not have to worry about these content IDs and potential copyright strikes that could eventually get rid of your channel. Well, one of the first things to do is make sure that there is no RIAA music or any non-royalty free music in your videos. Okay? Even if you are, let's say you're out at a nightclub and you just take some video of you and your friends and you're like woo doing whatever. If that song is legible or able to be heard in your video in a clear enough way that's playing in the nightclub, your video could get flagged, or at least content ID claimed. The music industry seems to be the big push on this, obviously because their antiquated ways are finally catching up with them. But a lot of the people that are having problems mostly not because of the game publishers, many of which who have actually come out and said that they never told Google to do any of these claims. So even if people are getting claims from certain publishers, the publishers are like, no, dispute them, we're going to whitelist them. That's not us. But then certain games have licensed music. And as a result, the music label is putting in the claim. And they're going to fight it tooth and nail. Okay? It doesn't matter what sort of agreement they may have signed with the game publisher. They're going to say that doesn't count towards people putting up videos on YouTube or streaming over Twitch or whatever. They're going to fight that tooth and nail because they want the money. And because their business model cannot adapt because they're all old fucking farts sitting up in their offices and don't know what fucking technology is. All right? Next, if you're doing gaming stuff, what you really want to do, especially if you're going to try to monetize anything that has to do with gaming, is check with each publisher about what they allow you to monetize. And it will vary from publisher to publisher. Blizzard, okay, for instance, they say, you know what, go ahead and monetize anything the fuck you want when it comes to our games, which would be, Hearthstone. Well, at least Hearthstone. I don't know about the other games, but at least Hearthstone, okay? Or Hearthstone, however you want to pronounce it. However, their stipulation is that you cannot put it behind a paywall. So you can't force people to pay to then watch your video. But if you want to put ads in the video, you're perfectly fine, okay? But not every publisher does that. Microsoft, for instance, has a very blanket and surprisingly not written in legalese thing on their Xbox Live site, a page on their Xbox Live site that basically says you can put up as many videos as you want. Okay? We don't care if they're Microsoft Game Studios videos or Microsoft Studio videos. You go ahead, put them up. Do your Let's Plays. Do your commentaries. Do whatever. But you're not allowed to monetize them. Okay? If you put them up on YouTube and there's ads on YouTube, well, you're not making the money from that YouTube is, so you're fine. But if you put the ad on your video, now you're in violation of Microsoft's agreement. All right? So a lot of publishers have that. Some publishers, they're like, fine, do whatever. Monetize. Go nuts. Because some of the publishers see this as free advertising, all right? And if you want to get paid a little bit of money for it, then go ahead. Then there are other publishers who are like Sega is very, very not monetizable, and neither is Nintendo, okay? Do not even attempt to monetize those videos because they're going to claim it and they're going to dispute it. If you try to dispute the claim, they're going to say no. And then if you appeal, they're going to put a copyright strike against you. Because that's just how those two companies are. All right? As much as people love Nintendo, all their, the whole problem that people have with the Let's Plays and stuff over the summer, just forget it. Don't put up anything with Nintendo and try to monetize it. Period. Because you're going to lose. And they're not going to back down. Now, for those publishers who have publicly come out and said, like on their Twitter feeds, wherever, that they did not institute these claims and you're allowed to monetize their videos, they tell you go ahead and dispute them. And they will, they'll work to get you cleared as soon as possible. However, with the amount of disputes that are going to come in, that might take a while, just so you know. All right. Now, depending on what your video is also going to be a big factor in whether you can potentially get a content ID claim put against you. Pardon me. Let's Play. Pardon me. God damn it. Maybe I shouldn't be drinking beer. Who knows? Let's Plays are going to be the biggest issue when it comes to content ID claims, especially if the Let's Plays show the cutscenes from the game, because the cutscenes are very easy for the content ID bot to recognize, and that's what's going to get them flagged the fastest. Other things, I'm sure, like, Nintendo makes all their own sounds, so they probably put those sounds in the database. So if, even if you have like a little thing where, like, you're like, aha, and you hear the Mario coin sound, you might get flagged, all right? But Let's Plays are going to be probably the biggest problem when it comes to content ID, because even though you could claim that they are transformative works, okay, they're not necessarily derivative works, but they're transformative because everyone plays differently, it might be hard to dispute that and win under the fair use doctrine. If you're doing reviews, I personally don't yet try to monetize my reviews. One, because they don't get many views, but whatever. But also because even though they're reviews, the content holder or the content owner can still dispute that you have a fair use right to try to make a little bit of money off of it. And that's something that is going to be a little bit of an issue until pretty much every publisher comes out and specifically lays out what is acceptable to monetize and what is not. And that's where we're probably not going to see anything for a little while, because for the most part, these publishers, again, they don't really care about us. They care about the money, the higher ups. But they also, the smarter ones, especially the indie publishers and stuff like that, they look at Let's Plays and, amateur reviews or, Twitch streams or whatever as free advertising, okay? Minecraft would not be where it is now if it wasn't for the fact that they said, you know what, go out and do whatever the fuck you want with our game. Make videos, make money, do whatever. And now, how big is Minecraft? I mean, I don't play it, but how big is it? It's huge. And that was part of why. They were forward-thinking. They knew that this new media and streaming videos and YouTube and Twitch, they knew that this was the future, okay? We're going into the future. Woo! But some of the older companies are not going to see it that way, especially when it comes to you making money off of what they're going to consider either a derivative work or just, in Sega and Nintendo's case, their content, period, and they don't care what you say with fair use. So it's going to be a little tough for a little while for people to, one, get used to this, and two, figure out what they can monetize, if they can monetize anything at all. As I said, the best bet is to check with the publishers. Many of them have something up on their website that says what you can do with videos that you make of their games. And that's where you're going to have to really look, because, publisher A might say, you know what, go ahead, monetize the shit out of it. We don't care. And publisher B might be like, hey, you know what? Make videos. Put them up. Great. We love it. But don't you fucking monetize it. And then publisher C might be like, you know what? Don't put up anything, because we will take it down or we will claim everything on it. And because every publisher is different, everyone has a different idea of what is going to be acceptable and what they're going to consider free advertising or you trying to make money off their shit, that it's going to be a tough road for gamers, who want to try to make it big on YouTube. And not everyone's going to make it big, all right? Trust me, I've got 10 years experience plus 10 plus years with reviewing games. I used to work for a small press site. I used to have PR contacts, all sorts of stuff, and now, nobody knows who the fuck I am. So I don't get the views. Big deal. I still do it, all right? And you also have to remember, the better quality your stuff is, the more lenient, I guess I'll say, that these publishers might be towards you. Where if your stuff looks good, if it sounds good, if even if it's not exactly singing the praises of the game the entire time, but it looks good, it sounds good, they might be a little more lenient towards you. But not every publisher is going to be. And that's where, again, without a network, or without being a managed network partner, I should say, you and I and anyone else is going to need to be very careful in what we upload to YouTube. Now, anything that you film yourself, okay, that doesn't have the game playing in the background or whatever, no copyrighted music, whatever, that you film yourself, you can monetize the shit out of that, all right? If you take a video of you doing fucking jumping jacks and put it up and try to make money off it, there is no problem. Because you filmed it, you own all the rights, etc. It's when the rights become murky that you're going to have the problem, that I'm going to have the problem, that now the affiliates of these networks are having the problems. And that's pretty much where we stand right now. How this is going to play out, I don't know. I mean, we're coming up on the Christmas holiday, so there's not going to be anyone at YouTube, or Google, to deal with this, okay? They did just put out a statement, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, on their Twitter feed for their YouTube creators, saying that they're going to have some information for content creators soon. Okay? But as gamers, we all know what the fuck soon means. Could mean, 5 years down the road. So anyway, I'm Sam. I'm rambling. And I'm wearing a hat to cover my bad hair. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it somewhat informative. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You can check out my Facebook page. I'll have all the links down below, my Twitter, everything. And it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I think I'm going to go to Twitch and stream some Killer Instinct, because there is nothing better to do at 3 o'clock in the morning than stream Killer Instinct. So I will catch you guys later.